Growing up as a little girl, I lived a pretty normal childhood. I was a happy kid, loved school, had an annoying younger brother, but I loved him. But really had quite a dramatic experience when I was about 10 years of age, where my mother passed away. She died of a heart attack. She was very healthy, very fit, had no symptoms or hints of anything being wrong, and then one morning just woke up choking and called the ambulance. They rushed to the house, took her to the hospital, but there was really nothing they could do. I have a really vivid memory of walking up the steps of the hospital just praying to a God I didn't know was real or not, and just saying, God, you have got to save my mum. You've got to intervene here. I just remember this really plain sort of clinical waiting room, just sitting in there waiting for what seemed like forever. Eventually, a doctor came into the room and had a conversation with my dad. My brother and I were sitting on his lap at the time, and I've just never seen my dad like that before. He's such a strong, happy, confident man, but in that moment, he just seemed so broken. At the time, though, I didn't really understand really what was happening. Everything felt so surreal. But I do remember feeling quite angry that Mum had died. I was angry that God hadn't answered my prayer. But also a lot of fear. I have really strong memories of falling asleep each night and just really hoping that every member of my family would be there the next day, that people I loved wouldn't just strangely disappear in the night and never be seen again. As I grew up and was a teenager, I suppressed a lot of those feelings. It was sort of hard to live with that fear lurking around all the time, so I just pushed it down and pretended it wasn't there. Meant that I became quite a cynical person. I didn't really feel anything anymore and believed that I was really quite strong and resilient as a result, but it was all there, it was just hidden. After I finished high school, I applied for an exchange program, which I was accepted for, and was sent to Peru in South America for 12 months. While I was there, one of the friends that I'd made locally invited me to come along to church with him. I actually didn't get any answers to the questions that I'd put to him, but what I did receive was this sort of overwhelming sense of peace and knowing that he was real and that somehow those two factors added up to it was all going to be okay. The fear is starting to go. I'm able to do things that I didn't think I would be able to do. I no longer think that people are going to leave at the drop of a hat or die unexpectedly. And the anger is resolving as well. It's pretty amazing to see what he's working out in me. Since I've forgiven him, I feel really free. I didn't realise how trapped I was by that lack of forgiveness and that anger towards God. I married 9 years ago to an amazing man. We have adventured together. We've been over to Cambodia for a year to work for a not-for-profit. We've moved to Melbourne a couple of years ago, again pursuing this interest in not-for-profit. And we just feel really privileged to be able to bring our skills and our passion to organisations that exist to help people. When I think of the future, I just feel really excited to continue to follow God in wherever He shows us to go each step of the way. Don't have a huge long-term view on where that will be, but I know that it's going to be a lot of fun, that it'll carry a lot of meaning and purpose that's beyond me and just my little life, as I'm part of something bigger in His plan.